Imagine living in a town where nearly every business you see is owned by people who look like you. The bank, owned by your community. The schools, run by your community. The doctors, teachers, and leaders, all part of your community. For many Black Americans in the early 1900s, this wasn't just a dream, it was real. And one of the most powerful examples of that dream was a town called Boley, Oklahoma. But what makes this story incredible is that most people have never heard of it. So today we're going to talk about a town that proved something powerful, that Black communities could build prosperity, leadership, and independence even during some of the most difficult times in American history. And by the end of this story, you might wonder why this chapter of history isn't talked about more often. But first, we need to go back in time. After the Civil War ended in 1865, millions of formerly enslaved Black Americans were suddenly free. But freedom didn't automatically mean equality or opportunity. Across the South, many Black families were forced into systems like sharecropping, where they worked land owned by others and received only a small portion of the profits. It kept many families trapped in poverty. Violence, discrimination, and restrictive laws made it difficult for Black Americans to build stable lives in many areas. So thousands of people decided to take a different path. They began moving west. This movement was sometimes called the Exoduster Migration, when thousands of Black Americans left the South in search of new opportunities in places like Kansas and Oklahoma. They were looking for something simple but powerful: land, safety, and the chance to control their own future. Out of this movement, dozens of Black communities began to form across the United States. Some were small settlements. Others became thriving towns. One of the most successful of these was Boley, Oklahoma, founded in 1903. And from the beginning, Boley was different. The town was built along a railroad line, which made it easier for businesses to grow and trade goods with nearby communities. Black farmers owned land and produced crops. Entrepreneurs opened stores, restaurants, and service businesses. There were Black lawyers, Black teachers, and Black doctors. And something else made Boley remarkable. The town had its own bank, which allowed Black residents to save money, invest in businesses, and build financial stability. For many residents, Boley represented something they had rarely experienced before: economic independence. At its peak, thousands of people lived in Boley. It had schools, churches, hotels, and thriving businesses. People traveled from miles away just to visit the town and do business there.